Now, with all the very latest this Sunday afternoon, it's the ITV News.
Burnham's Westminster bid is blocked. Labour's governing body stops the Greater Manchester Mayor from entering a by-election race. Could it be over fears a leadership challenge to the Prime Minister might have followed?
They've decided against it because of the huge inconvenience to 2 million voters across Greater Manchester.
Also tonight, heartbroken but angry, candlelit vigils honour a nurse shot dead by federal agents in Minnesota. His family accuses the White House of lying. Thousands protest in Sussex after migrants are moved into an army barracks in the area. And a towering achievement. The man who climbed a 100-storey building without any safety gear.
This is ITV News with Lucy Watson.
Good afternoon. Andy Burnham's bid to return to Parliament has been blocked by the Labour Party just 24 hours after the Greater Manchester Mayor announced he intended to stand in the Gorton and Denton by-election. The National Executive Committee, which is Labour's governing body, decided today that Burnham would not be allowed to end his term as Mayor early and run as a candidate. The panel voted 8-1 against, with the Prime Minister voting no. Allies of Sir Keir Starmer's had feared Burnham's return would trigger a leadership challenge, with today's move likely to cause a major political backlash. Fred Dimbleby has the latest.
It was only 20 months ago that Andy Burnham was elected for a third time as the Mayor of Greater Manchester. His campaigning on behalf of the region helped him become Labour's most popular politician, leading to his nickname, the King of the North. But it is the North and that job where for now he will be staying, after Labour's ruling committee denied his request to run as an MP, a move already being met with fury in the party.
There'll be a strong suggestion that people around him in number 10 Downing Street will have been trying to influence the NEC, and that is a problem for Keir. But I'm afraid to tell you, I've been around in politics for a long time, not just since I was elected in 2010. I can see some bloodletting.
In an 8-1 decision, the Starmer-friendly NEC voted to block Burnham. The Prime Minister voted in favour, apparently. Lucy Powell, the deputy leader of his party, the only vote against. The government forced to deny this was a political move to protect Keir Starmer from one of his greatest rivals.
It's nothing to do with Andy Burnham, it's because triggering a by-election for the Mayor of Greater Manchester right now would inconvenience 2 million people who live in that area, and Andy's only halfway through his term.
Labour still need a candidate for the Gorton and Denton by-election. Voters there learning the news it won't be Andy Burnham.
8-1, such a unanimous decision that he cannot stand, he cannot be part of this, is so bizarre.
The other parties are going to put up some very strong candidates for this area because now they feel they've got a chance.
Starmer's got too many people around him that want him to stay where he is, and he's a threat to him.
For now, Andy Burnham has been kept away from Westminster, but this decision is unlikely to keep the Prime Minister out of danger.
Fred, this is a risky decision by Labour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really high-stakes moment for the party, but also for the Prime Minister. The anger among the party tonight is pretty extraordinary. You heard it in my piece there. If you go on social media, you'll see MPs accusing the party of weakness and cowardice. Clearly, there was a thought by some Starmer allies that the risk of this outrage was worth the reward of keeping Burnham out of Parliament. But the big question now is whether they can win this by-election, because if they lose it, the blame will be laid squarely at the door of number 10 and the Prime Minister.
Fred, thank you very much indeed. The parents of the nurse shot dead by immigration officers in Minnesota have hit out at what they're calling the sickening lies being told about their son. Alex Pretty was shot multiple times by ICE agents as he tried to help a protester who'd been pushed to the ground. In a statement, his family says he was attacked by what they're calling Trump's murdering and cowardly ICE thugs. Our US correspondent Dan Rivers is in Minneapolis, in Minnesota for us. Dan, another tense day in the state and another divisive moment for the country.
Absolutely, yeah. The death of Alex Pretty coming so soon after the shooting of Rene Good 2 weeks ago has prompted soul-searching not just here in Minneapolis but across the country. Many wondering if this is a watershed moment, especially as some right-wing commentators are now openly questioning Donald Trump's immigration policies and the crackdown. I must warn you, my report contains audio of the moment Alex Pretty was shot.
Minneapolis is fast becoming a city of grief and anger. The bitter cold did not deter those wanting to mark the memory of Alex Pretty last night, nor did it dim their fury.
It's just gone midnight here, and even though the temperature is about -23 centigrade and colder with the wind chill, there are still people keeping vigil and making their point after yesterday's shooting.
They have 3,000 people here and maybe 1,000 of them are fully trained. What sense does this make?
The things they're doing, they will pay for in the long run. You know, Donald Trump isn't going to be president forever.
The state has deployed a National Guard to the streets as the city's mayor accused immigration and customs enforcement agents of provoking a crisis.
The chaos that we are seeing is caused directly by ICE.
Despite multiple videos of the shooting in which it could be clearly seen Alex Pretty was disarmed before he was shot, the Trump administration is recasting events.
The armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots.
The Trump administration claims that Alex Pretty was perpetrating an act of domestic terrorism, even though, just like with Rene Good, the videos simply don't bear that out. Now it appears they are going to use this as a pretext to vastly increase the number of federal agents in this city.
Alex Pretty was an intensive care nurse working with veterans. His words here resonating across the country.
Today we remember that freedom is not free. We have to work at it, nurture it, protect it, and even sacrifice for it.
His parents learnt of his death from a reporter, their worst fears confirmed when they saw these videos.
He cared about people deeply, and he was very upset with what was happening in Minneapolis and throughout the United States with ICE.
The city where George Floyd's murder sparked worldwide outrage is now once again contending with profound tragedy. Coming so soon after the shooting of Rene Good in her car earlier this month, Alex Pretty's death is making many Americans ask if Donald Trump's immigration crackdown is coming with an unbearable price. Dan Rivers, ITV News, Minneapolis.
The Home Secretary says a new national police service will free up local forces to tackle everyday crime by taking over responsibility for counter-terrorism and fraud. Shabana Mahmood insists that creating the British FBI, as it's being called, is not a cost-saving exercise, but is about creating a new policing model for England and Wales. The King says he is pleased and proud of the Prince's Trust he set up as the organisation celebrates its 50th anniversary. During that time, the charity, now called the King's Trust, has helped more than 1.3 million people into employment. The King said he will continue to support disadvantaged young people. Thousands of people were on the streets of Crowborough in East Sussex this morning, protesting about migrants being moved into the town's former army base. 27 asylum seekers were relocated to the barracks on Thursday, and a further 500 are set to be housed there in the coming weeks. From Crowborough, Sam Holder reports.
Our streets! Our streets! Our streets!
Crowborough has become a lightning rod. The government plans to move 500 migrants to a former army barracks in this small town in Sussex. It's now the epicentre of anti-migrant protests. The crowd, a mix of seasoned, self-described patriots who've taken part in marches across the country, and locals for whom this is a first.
It's all about the safety and security of people, really, and changing the whole face of Crowborough.
And why are you concerned specifically? You talk about safety and security. What makes you concerned about this?
Because we don't know the background of these people and where they're coming from, and they're free to roam.
I want to be really clear, this is not about race. It's about the appropriateness of putting 600 unemployed, undocumented men half a mile from my children.
There's no evidence the planned migrants are dangerous, but in Crowborough that fear is widespread.
The irony is that this is part of the government's plan to move asylum seekers out of hotels, which has been a controversial policy, into cheaper, less comfortable accommodation like army barracks.
And the government isn't backing down.
I do understand that strength of feeling, but for the housing of asylum seekers, military sites are very much part of that solution, and they are the right way forward. So I will defend that decision.
On Thursday, the first 27 migrants moved in. Despite the protests, it looks like hundreds more will follow. Sam Holder, ITV News, Crowborough.
Now, look away now if you're scared of heights, because a daredevil climber has pulled off the ultimate don't try this at home stunt. Alex Honnold from California climbed up all 101 stories of the Taipei Tower in Taiwan. And he did it with no ropes, no safety gear, and apparently no fear. Here's Callum Fairhurst.
Have any of that transitional...
A real life Spider-Man, scaling one of the tallest buildings in the world. At 1,600 foot high, there's no room for mistakes. One slip and it would all be over. With offices throughout the 101 floor building in Taipei, workers lined up against the windows to catch a glimpse of Alex Honnold passing by.
The Google floor is so psyched, it's crazy.
Alex is no stranger to daring climbs. He was the first person to scale Yosemite's El Capitan with no ropes. That ascent was shown in an Oscar-winning documentary. This climb, though, was broadcast live. A 10-second delay, just in case the worst happened. Then, after just 90 minutes, the peak.
He's done it!
And after that astonishing climb, his wife, it's safe to say, was quite relieved, especially as he chose the normal route down.
Yeah, how do we get to the elevator?
An incredible feat with no ropes and thankfully no mistakes.
Sick!
Just Alex Honnold on top of the world. Callum Fairhurst, ITV News.
Oh my goodness. Now, finally, an Australian cycling star has made a dramatic comeback in the Tour Down Under after a crash caused by an unexpected visitor.
And there it is. Oh, it's a kangaroo has jumped into the peloton.
It's a kangaroo. Oh, no. Bounding into their path during the final stage, a kangaroo caused Jay Vine and other riders to come off their bikes. But hopping straight back on, Vine still managed to finish up in first place. That's all from us for now. We'll see you later at 10. Bye-bye.